Michael Gallis here for A1 TV, Magic Monday, Healthy Living. Thank you for joining us. Hope you've had a great week. We've got another amazing guest, so stay tuned, sit back on your couch, grab yourself a cup of Pakistani tea and enjoy the show. Our special guest today is Nida Shafat. And Nida, so good to see you. One of my AFL IC17 Pakistani women footballers, but so much more to her than just a football player here in Melbourne, Victoria. Nida, welcome to Healthy Living on A1 TV.
Hi, Michael. Assalamu alaikum to everybody back home.
Great to have you on board. Now, firstly, Melbourne's in a stage 4 lockdown due to coronavirus. We've got a curfew. We can't go more than 5 kilometres from our house. We're only allowed out to exercise for 1 hour a day unless we're going to work or we're caregiving. How are you coping in this situation?
I go out for walks every day. I have my bike, which has been a lifesaver. So I go for bike rides every day. That has been keeping me sane throughout this time.
And you're an international student. What are you studying at the moment here in Melbourne?
I am studying law. I just got my license. It's been a year now. I've got my license last year to practice law here in Victoria, in Australia.
Congratulations. It's a great achievement. You've been working very hard to achieve that license. How many years have you been studying in Melbourne?
Nearly 3 now.
Yep. And how have you found living in Melbourne as an international student before the coronavirus, obviously?
Before the corona, it's been a lot of fun. It's really good. Yeah, the everything is fun. Going outside, university life, meeting up with new people, doing new things, experiencing footy.
Yeah, that was a big part of your journey here in Melbourne. And I didn't even introduce you properly. I apologise, Nida. Nida was, as you heard, IC17, part of the inaugural AFL Pakistan women's team playing AFL. She's also the Victorian Health This Girl campaign ambassador, a world traveller, as you heard, a law student at Melbourne University and a Pakistan national. We talked about in relation to you being in Melbourne. Now, I want you to go right back. Take me back to your hometown in Pakistan. Where did you grow up, and what was your inspiration, do you think, to enable you to come all the way across the world to Melbourne?
So I'm from Lahore, the cultural capital of our country, a very proud Lahori.
City of food, they tell me. City of food, Nida.
City of food. Yes, I was trying to be more polite saying the capital culture, but we are known for our food.
And be loud and proud, Nida. All the people I've met from Lahore, very passionate about Lahore. When I tell them that I like Gujranwala or Karachi or Multan, they all yell at me. No, Lahore.
No. Lahoris, we take pride in because we're coming from Lahore. So yes, Lahoris are the best. Lahore is the best. No arguments, no ifs and buts.
And as you were growing up in Lahore, how did you find it? What were the experiences you remember as a young girl in Lahore?
In particular, I remember the Lahori winters. So it's really it gets foggy, it's cold, and just walk around with my parents and we get just cozy up together. So Lahori winters are really special. Summers I don't like. Summers are harsh. So,
bit hot?
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. Understand? You went there at which time?
Yes, summer. It was very hot.
So you know.
Yeah, it's very hot. It was like an oven.
It's really like an oven. You can't survive without an AC or a cooler over there.
No, that's for sure.
Load shedding is getting better. So we had very bad load shedding as well. That got better.
And your favorite? What was your favorite Lahore food growing up?
My favorite Lahore food. Anything like my mom makes.
Pakora?
Anything that pakora. There's this thing you make with pakoras, curry.
Yeah.
So you make the gravy, yogurt gravy, and put the pakoras in it.
Oh,
that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing. Yeah.
I miss Pakistan food. You can see Kangaroo Jack I've got here got very big when he was in Pakistan, I can tell you.
What did you have that was the best thing over there?
Oh, I like Pakistani omelette, the spicy omelette for breakfast.
You must have
Light,
onion that growed inside and
yeah,
chilies.
beautiful. Yeah, it was
Mm.
beautiful. That was in Gujrawala. I like the food of Gujrawala.
Oh,
Is it lassi for morning drink?
the
Lassi?
tea,
No, no.
lassi.
Yeah, lassi. Yeah, lassi. I enjoy. That was very nice.
Hmm.
I like. You go.
No. I was just saying it's really refreshing during the summer, so it's a good thing. It keeps you hydrated.
And the Pakistani tea was very nice. Very nice.
Oh, I'm not a tea drinker. I really don't like Pakistani tea.
Didn't like it?
No, especially like doodh patti. It's just it's not for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And what was good that every town, like I started in Karachi, went up to Multan, across to Lahore, through Gujrawala into Islamabad, and every town had different styles of food as well. That's what was great about Pakistan. It's not just the same in every single area.
No. They have their own version of that food. Yeah. Even if you go to India, I think they have different takes on the same foods.
Yeah, big shout out to all our viewers in Pakistan and India, and I look forward one day getting to India as well. I'd love to visit that beautiful country too. And we thank everyone here at A1 TV, Healthy Living. Michael Gallis is the host. Thank you for your support out there. We're getting so many positive comments on Facebook Live and also across A1 TV channels. Across Australia and around the world. I know we've got a big viewership in Canada, also New Zealand and America, and a big shout out to all of you. And we're joined today by Nida Shafat, who is a Melbourne International Law student and one of the first AFL Pakistan national players in IC 17. And Nida, I first met you at, and taking you back to your childhood, did you like sport? What games were you playing in Pakistan before you got to Melbourne?
I was into swimming. I swam a lot, running. Not really team sports. I was more of a solitary person. So like running, swimming. This was the first time I took part in a team sport.
And the first night I met you, we were at Northern Saints football ground out in Coburg. It was raining, and there was you, Sarah, Fazer, and two other girls who we never saw again. And I was not. I was very surprised that you and Sarah and Fazer came back after our training session. How did you get involved with AFL IC 17 to start with?
So I love telling this story because so when I first got to Melbourne, no idea what footy was. A friend of mine said they're having footy tryouts. I said footy must be soccer, must be football. Why not? Have heard of that before. Went over there, saw you guys kicking, the male players playing over there, kicking and tackling, and said, This is not soccer. I like said to Sarah, like, this is not soccer. And she was like, doesn't matter, let's just go in. So we went there. That was the first time we met everybody in Shaheen's as well. That was our first time meeting everybody. You, Shaheen's, the club that we played for. When they got to meet everybody, they said, fine, we don't have a team, we don't have players, we're not sure that anybody from Pakistan is going to come. Why don't you just try out and see how you go? And yeah, then we introduced you. They said that you're the coach, and you say it's fine. I have experience teaching little kids, and we told you, please teach us. We treat us as little kids because we have really rudimentary skills where footy is concerned, like no skills at all. And like, it's fine, it's all going to be fine, just don't worry about it. And we started off with handballing, like, this is how you handball, this is how you do that. and we just started practicing it.
And did you actually believe me? Did you think that I was telling the truth when you're watching all the Pakistan men running around, or was going to be a little bit more complex?
We got that it would be a little more complex, but you said it's going to be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like, you had this calm demeanor. It's going to be all right. I don't know how much of it you were crying from inside it. This is what I have to work with. But on the outside, you were.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried on the inside. You're right. Just a little bit worried on the inside what was going to happen here, because we were playing against England, America, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, who had very strong players.
I especially remember the Canadian team because they were so nice to us in the beginning. They brought like presents for us and like, oh God, this is the first time you've made a Pakistani team. We're so proud of you guys. Don't worry what happens outside. And they all were like hugging us. It's going to be all right. And then when we got to the pitch, oh my God, they were brutal. We were just like, they were tossing us around like we didn't weigh anything. This false sense of security. Never trust Canadian footy players.
Once you got over that white line, yeah, bang, they just hit you with it, didn't they?
I remember my first
bang, 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 bang.
I was just lying on the ground. I was looking up and I was like, why? Why am I doing this?
Now, the majority of our team flew in from Pakistan on Friday. We had our first game on Sunday. We had one training session Friday night for 20 minutes. Now, the other challenge I had, apart from these girls not really knowing what was going on, like you said, but they all spoke Urdu and hardly any of them spoke English.
I remember that. Must have been really hard for you. I remember that first, like, your expressions on that day. You must be crying on the inside because you were really worried. You had this worried frown, like, what's going to happen to them? And I remember you going over to their, I think we played Great Britain the first time around.
We did.
And I remember you were going over to their coach and talking to him and saying, like, this is the first time around. They don't really know what they're doing. Yeah. Please take it easy. And yeah, we didn't even know where to stand properly. I remember the players were like, just stick near us, like yours. And I remember going somewhere else and the other player saying, no, you're not supposed to do that. Just stay close to me.
Yeah, that's right. I think that because in Australia we call European football soccer. So do you think that all the Pakistani girls that came from all over Pakistan, our international team of players, do you think they thought they were playing European football? And when they saw this strange ball, then they worked out at quarter time when I saw them, they were all in disbelief. What is this game? What are we doing here? And what are we playing?
They had the same reaction as me.
I think so.
Yeah, but they came over still, and then they played every game, knowing that we played every game, knowing that we didn't really know what we were doing. So that takes some sort of guts as well, like.
Yeah, exactly right. The courage, and some of these girls had never been out of their village. Some of them were from remote areas of Pakistan. And for them to get on a plane, to come to a foreign country, to arrive in Melbourne, a huge city, and then to play this strange game with this strange ball when they actually thought they were playing soccer, when in actual fact they were playing AFL football, which is the toughest game in the world, as you found out lying on the ground after you've been steamrolled by the Canadian team. And that they give me courage and inspiration every day in what I do, because I saw what they were able to do to come to this land. And most of them couldn't speak English. Urdu was their national language as well. So, and they had this strange.
I think most of them were like international players of different fields. So they were soccer players, and they had played outside Pakistan. They were badminton players. There was I think there was one of them was a wrestler as well. Yeah. So they had sort of exposure of traveling outside, but I think most of them came to Australia for the first time.
Yes, and you mentioned there we had Abia Haider, who's an international soccer player. Same with Mara. Same with Karishma Ali. I know Asmar Zubair was a hockey player. Laiba Masood, who's an international badminton player. So you're right, they had the athletic background. They just didn't know what this was.
They had the skills. I think they just needed but they've never played this game before. I think
Yes.
it was a hodgepodge of different players of different fields, like hockey. Was there a hockey player?
Yes. Asma.
Asma,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The hockey players, soccer players, all got together and just tried out a new game. We just wanted to make a new team, the first ever Pakistani footy team. Just to be able to do that was a big thing in itself, I guess.
Oh, it's amazing. And especially being from a Muslim background where it is challenging to say in Pakistan for girls in some areas to play sport. We had girls from Chittorol and from Hunza, Salia from Hunza, come from all parts of Pakistan to come to Australia, as you said, as a team. And at the end of the tournament, even though we didn't win a game, we only kicked one goal, everyone was talking about the courage of Pakistan. It must have made you so proud to be a part of that.
It did. It really did. It was like if I know like we were the topmost team. We were at the bottom of the ladder, but just making the team and playing the game every time, not giving up. I guess we just like that. We were the first one to do that, and the next people who would come after us would of course do better. Now they're proper training camps. You went over there in Pakistan. There are training camps in Pakistan about footy. People are actually playing the game. So yes, I feel really proud.
Yeah.
Like I was part of this thing.
Yeah, without you and all those players from AFL IC 17, and you mentioned Pakistan Shaheens, Cash, was also Dr. Saeed Aras, without their support in AFL IC 17, there's no way that the game of Pakistan would be, the game of AFL in Pakistan would be going so well. And you did right. When I went back last year, I found 10 coaches, AFL coaches, Pakistan national AFL coaches across the country, and 30 to 50 women in each city came to trial and to learn about the game. And that's just extraordinary for a foreign country to pick up this game, especially women have the courage to come and try this new game. And I was so proud to be the national coach and so proud to meet everyone in their home cities and again learn about the culture of Pakistan, which is just extraordinary. It's a beautiful country full of beautiful people.
Definitely, I think if it wasn't for you encouraging us on that day, there wouldn't have been a first ever Pakistani footy team. So you were the catalyst. You were the main reason that we were playing on that time. I think most of the women that came over, most of the team that came over wouldn't have stuck together or would have gone back like discouraged, like we're going to make fools out of ourselves. But you said, no, don't think about it. Just don't think about the competition. Do have fun. Maze karo. I still remember
Maze karo. And we certainly did, didn't we? The thing that, another thing that made me so proud was at the end of the game, the Pakistan team and the Fijian, the Papua New Guinea teams would get together and sing in their national tongue in the middle of the ground. That you must have really enjoyed doing that.
I did, because it gave us that was our time to shine, like us singing Dil Dil Pakistan and everything. We just came together. It was so much fun. It brought the team together. It made the other teams look up as well. Like that's the first ever Pakistan team. They're singing, they're dancing with passion. They're excited about the game. Yes, we had fun.
Yeah, it was great fun, wasn't it? Great fun. And then we had Myra Ahmed, our captain, was chosen in the world team. We had a big dinner in Melbourne with all the teams and they chose the best players from each team. And she became the first ever Pakistani woman to be chosen. I think the first ever Muslim woman to be chosen in the international AFL team, and a great honour for her and a great way to represent the country of Pakistan as well.
I think all of them, Myra did a great job. She was the captain. All of them just persevered and did a great job. And they're now, like, everybody acknowledges them now for what they did. I'm really proud of all of them.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and as you said, led to me being inspired to go to Pakistan last year and have that tour of the country and learn about the culture and the people. And sport's so important to do that, as well as to have your mind open to new opportunities, isn't it? And that's obviously what your life is about, because you've ended up here in Melbourne from Lahore.
Ryan, I never knew that I would get to do this. I think sport is all about breaking barriers as well, experiencing new things. You go to a different country, this is what you should do. Like, get involved in new things, new sports. You meet new people. And I had the experience of my lifetime over here. I played in an international tournament. I met some important people, got to meet you, had fun on top of everything. So, yes.
And from that experience, as you said, it led you, quite extraordinary, to become the poster girl for Victoria, which is a state here in Australia, of a campaign to encourage women to play sport. And it was titled This Girl Can campaign, and you're an ambassador. And how funny was it that everywhere we went, there was a poster of you on a bus, a train, a tram, up on the side of buildings. How did that come about?
So they were looking for some people who had tried sport for the first time and just played or were active in their everyday lives, and I sent in my story. Like, this is how I got in touch or got involved with footy. They called me over, and I went, and then they just interviewed me and said, like, they liked what I had to say, and they said, like, we want you to be the footy ambassador. And I didn't really know what, again, I didn't really know what it was. I was like, okay, fine, it'll be a campaign. They'll get me to talk to some people. We'll have meetings and stuff like that. But later on found out, like, no, we're gonna shoot an ad. You're gonna have posters everywhere. I was like, great. And I still couldn't believe it. Like, the bus that I usually travel in, my picture was behind that. At tram stops, I was there. On the TV, I could see myself. They were like, even before the movies in cinemas and stuff like that, in shopping malls, and like this. Then I got to know, no, this is really big. This is huge.
Yeah.
I remember you sending me pictures as well at night, like the because I didn't really used to go out at night, and they were like, oh, I saw you poster over there, and you used to take a picture and send it to me. Like damn, yes, this is.
And again, it's having that open mind for new opportunities. Even though you didn't know what was going on, you didn't say no. And that's really struck me in all Pakistan women I've met in Australia and around Pakistan, that they have the vision and the courage to do different things. And that's a great trait to have in life, isn't it?
Definitely. I think unfortunately, we've got this image that we're sort of suppressed or whatever, but that's not the case at all. Most of us are open to new things, especially, and we're all like determined, smart people. We just need an opportunity, and if we do get an opportunity, we do avail it. And everybody should, I think, especially if you're in a new country. Again, you should try new things. Definitely, it will lead to places you've never even imagined before.
Yes, and meet crazy people as well. Crazy people.
Nice people, extremely nice people.
And from that, amazingly, you got to meet Prince Harry and Meghan Markle when they came to Australia. Did you ever think you would actually meet the royal family one day because you played footy?
I played footy. Like, I've been to the UK before, and of all things, like, I had a better chance of a better probability of meeting them over there than in Australia. Like, again, through this campaign, so they were coming over for their trip, and I didn't know. It's like, they sent me the This Girl Can campaign. People sent me a message and like, would you be open to this thing? We can't tell you who's coming over, but there are some important people, and there's this huge thing that's happening. Do you want to be a part of it? I was like, fine, yeah, sure. And then later on, they sent me, I think a month later on, they'll be like, oh, it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like, what?
No way.
And then later on the day, I remember that they were like, because we're short on time, they can only meet with 4 ambassadors, because this girl campaign had different ambassadors for everything, for cycling, for soccer, dancing. So they're like, they can only meet limited people because they've got limited time. So they've chosen, I think they chose dancing, and they've chosen footy as well. So only like 4 of us got to meet them, and I was one of them because they chose footy.
Yeah. And what did you talk about?
So he was, I talked to Prince Harry. It was really cool. Really, really cool. He was like, "Oh, you play footy. You don't look like a footy player." I was like, no. It's like, this is what I get to hear the first time. "Oh, you don't look like a footy player. You're tiny." I was like, it doesn't matter. So
And
yeah,
that's why they chose you for the campaign, wasn't it? Because
yeah.
because of that your image was that supposedly you can't play AFL, which is so tough and brutal, and you need to be big, strong, and muscly. But in actual fact, it's how strong you are in mind, isn't it?
Definitely, it's just about getting tackled once and then getting up again, getting tackled twice, getting up again. It's all about it's all in here rather than how many times you get squashed. Definitely.
And that's what Salia, our ruckman, came to me and said, why? And Salia was this big when the ruckman we were playing were this big. And her courage, every time she went to a ruck contest, she got knocked over. And every single time she tried to get the ball, they just pushed her to the ground. But every single time she got back up, and she showed that courage to keep going, as all the girls did. All the girls did. And that is what people at that tournament remember about the Pakistani team, that they didn't win games, but they won everyone's hearts, didn't they?
Definitely. I remember one of the other players getting injured as well, Abiha.
Yeah.
Abiha injured her back during one of the games or something like that. And she was like, no, I want to go back inside. I want to go back inside. Just even though she was like really hurting badly, she was like, no, I want to just go back inside. So that sort of spirit and determination, that was something, like I've mentioned, I've never played team sports before. This is what I've learned from playing a team sport. All this camaraderie and getting together, singing songs, dancing, getting hurt together, losing together, not really together, but it was fun nonetheless.
Yeah, and I remember Noor was the same. Noor got a big cut on her leg. And she just kept saying, can I go back on? Can I go back on? And Bobby...
Poor thing, she had tears in her eyes. She was in so much pain, and then but still she was like, I still want to play.
Yeah, and Bobby, our trainer, patched her up and put her back on. And I think wearing your national shirt too, your national jersey, was like a suit of armour, I think I said to all of you. And everyone, when they put that on, no matter what happened on the field, you just kept going because you knew you were representing Pakistan.
That was another important part of it, because you knew that if you don't get up, then maybe the other person won't get up as well. So you had to be there for the other person.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And everyone was, which was just so...
Everybody was. We knew that this was it. Like, there aren't any alternative players waiting. This is it. This is a team. Nobody's going to come and save you. If you don't get up, then yes.
No, exactly right. And Meghan Markle, did you have a chat to her when you were talking with Prince Harry?
No, I didn't. I met her, but I didn't really talk to her. Mostly talked to Harry.
Yep. And do you think did he like AFL? Did he know what it was?
He did. He was really interested in AFL footy. He was like, ooh, the ball as well. He was like, it's sort of like what was that sport that they played in rugby? So it's sort of like rugby.
Yeah.
But he seemed like, but I think Meghan was more keen because she tried handballing as well. She was out there.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah. They're both really cool. I still have the ball that Prince Harry, the footy ball.
Yeah.
So he was holding on to that and gave it to me. So I have that. A yellow footy ball.
Yeah, keep that. Yeah, you got to keep that, Nita. You got to keep that.
I've kept.
Yeah, and the governor of Victoria, Linda Dessau, was there as well. Did you get a chance to have a chat to her? Really inspiring lady here in Melbourne,
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah, she was great as well. We talked a bit about. She asked me as well. Prince Harry asked me as well, like, how did you get involved in footy? What's it like? Are there new programs or stuff coming up for footy? What's the community doing to improve footy and stuff like that? So they were asking really informative questions like what's happening with footy and how has this campaign helped footy, especially with reaching to people with color, people with different faith. Like how has this been helping them to get involved with footy as well?
Yeah, which
So it
is
was. Hmm.
keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, which has been extraordinary. And you mentioned it earlier. Sport. It doesn't have to be AFL, even though that's our favourite sport. Gives you that opportunity to break down the barriers. When I went to Pakistan, I couldn't speak much Urdu. Mazi Karu and Shaba Shaba and Inshallah and Shukriya. And then I learned Zorze, which means strength, which was really exciting.
I think that's not even an. I think that's a Peshawar. That's Pashto word. Zoze?
Zorze, strength, strong.
That's not Urdu. Strong. I think that's not Urdu.
That's what the girls were telling me in a stadium in Islamabad. Zorze, Zorze. I told them.
Zorse. Zorse. Zorse.
Zorze.
Zorse.
Zorze. Is that strength? Strong?
Zorse is like pushing something with strength. Like Zorse karo. Like
Yeah.
do it with force.
Yeah, it's good. Because I was telling them they were kicking the ball and they're only doing little kicks. And I said I had to kick it long. And they said, Zorze. Zorze.
Zorse. Makes sense. No, it makes sense.
I'm getting better. I'm learning. So I've got to go back to Pakistan to improve my Urdu.
You have to come back to Pakistan. Mostly for the food, but also for the footy.
Yeah. Kangaroo Jack, he's getting a bit slim. He needs to get better, bigger.
Bigger, yes. No problem in Pakistan.
Yeah, I was supposed to go back in April of this year, but obviously due to Corona, we had to cancel that. So hopefully maybe October, November 2021, we get back to Pakistan for another tour. Because I missed out on Hunza and Gilgit and Salia and Krishna. Krishna told me that's the best part of Pakistan.
That's like the prettiest part of Pakistan.
Yeah.
More than it. You have to go there.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Inshallah, 2021.
Inshallah.
Which would be good. Now yourself, you've just finished your law degree here in Melbourne. What are you doing at the moment?
Just doing something on top of it, just to come up on, like, when you get done. When I get done with everything, it'll help me later on.
Yeah. And you plan to stay in Melbourne or travel back home or get some work internationally, or due to the uncertainty, not too sure just yet?
Just due to the uncertainty, I'm not sure. But all of those things, I'm planning on going back home. I'm planning on working outside, and I'm planning on staying in Melbourne some more as well. So all of these things, yes.
That'd be great. Now, did your parents or your family, if they had an opportunity to travel to Melbourne to see you?
No, they haven't. We always meet up in different countries. It's easier. Like, I go to my sister in the UK, so they come over there. It's really far away. Australia is really far away. How long did it take you to go to Pakistan?
30 hours.
Yeah. Especially if you're taking a connecting flight.
Correct.
And one of the reasons they did. And then this happened. They were supposed to come for my graduation, but they couldn't, obviously, because of.
Yeah. Okay. So that would have been the first time they got here.
That would be the first. They're really looking forward to it because I've hyped up Melbourne, especially Melbourne, so much. So they're like way looking forward to it, and like you can't now. Everything is gone.
Yeah, no, it's just a mess, isn't it? Just an absolute mess. But fingers crossed. We had some good numbers today, didn't we? And the government in Victoria more optimistic that hopefully we've got 4 weeks left of stage 5. Stage 4? What are we in? Stage 5 lockdown? Stage 4. Oh.
I will go to 5. Let's not go to 5. I don't want to see 5.
We don't even know what 5 is. So, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. So, stage 4 lockdown, 4 weeks to go here in Melbourne, Australia. And really big thank you to everyone for their support of all of us in Melbourne. From what I hear, this is the harshest coronavirus lockdowns in the whole world that we're going through.
Yeah, because nobody really had a night curfew, did they?
No, no curfew.
Except for China, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they had a complete lockdown. Like nobody was allowed to go outside their house.
Yeah, true.
At all.
Yeah, true. So hopefully, it's working, and very soon we'll be able to get back to some normality here in Australia and here in Melbourne anyway. The rest of Australia is going.
The rest of Australia is still doing relatively better than like Victoria.
Yeah, so happily for the rest of Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Western Australia, South Australia, Tasmania, and also New Zealand. Life is a lot better there at the moment, which we hope to be soon.
But there's a resurgence in New Zealand now as well, isn't there?
Yeah, a little. Little
one. Yeah. But they've got a tiny population, so.
Yeah, they're basically just the whole of Melbourne's their whole country, so they're lucky they're spread out. And big shout out to all our New Zealand viewers, and thank you for joining us and being part of our show today. It's been a fantastic show, and Nida, I always enjoy catching up with each and every one of my AFL IC17 Pakistan national women. Your courage, your determination, your intelligence to represent your country, but more importantly on the field, but more importantly off the field. And the more I learn individually about each of the players and their lives off the field, just inspires me further to learn more about your country, and gives me great pride as your national AFL coach. And really appreciate your time joining us today.
Lovely talking to you, Michael, as always. Thank you so much for you're the one that introduced me to footy. One of the main reasons that I stuck with footy, and thank you so much for that. I got to experience so much over here in Melbourne. So yeah, always a pleasure talking to you.
Now we'll just sign off with a bit of I don't even know. I don't think this means goodbye, but I always sign off with a bit of shaba shaba.
Shaba shaba. Shaba shaba.
Mazi Karo.
Maze karo. Maze karo, everybody. Allah Hafiz, everybody. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Especially if you're in Melbourne.
Especially in your Melbourne, yeah.
And hooroo.
Hooroo?
That's an Aussie goodbye. Hooroo.
Hooroo.
Hooroo. Michael Gallis on A1 TV, joined by Nida Shafat from Melbourne, Australia, hometown of Lahore. Big shout out to everyone in Lahore who's watching, especially our number one viewer, Nahid Zia. Nahid, you'd be very happy to have heard Nida talking about your hometown of Lahore. Thanks for joining us this week. Magic Monday. Have a great week. Can't wait to see you next week with another special guest on Healthy Living A1 TV.